So majority of my life, my working life, I've always worked in retail. So I was always selling something. And I did a lot of luxury retail. So I worked at Rolex, so I sold watches.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, my background is extensive. Always around this luxury market, and I was always selling things. But I never really felt connected to the things that I was selling. I had a time period where I would just binge House Hunters, Property Brothers, anything about interior design, anything about home. I would always binge this. And I was like, I can do this.
I remember he would like tell me, so what do you think that you would be able to do as a loan officer? How would you get business? And he was just kind of drilling me. And he's like, you know what's the difference between what you and the thousands of other loan officers I've interviewed is? And I'm like, what? He's like, nothing. He's like, some people talk and some people do it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you have it in you.
Literally, once my broker at the time told me this is something that I need to push my business, it was either that or cold calling. Mm-hmm. And I'm not cold calling, and I'm definitely not door knocking. I reached out to my brand strategist, and I was like, how can we do this? Mm-hmm. I don't want to look like any other realtor. I don't want to even brand a brokerage. I want to brand myself, because in the event that I ever leave this brokerage, I don't want my following, or I don't want my clientele to fall in love with the broker or the brokerage. I want them to follow me anywhere I go.
And actually today it's kind of a good segue. We're going to be talking about content creation and branding and strategy and, really branding your business. And not even, we're going to talk about it on the real estate level, but this is something that's really going to translate over to any business that you have. Showtime!
It's showtime!
I went to Mexico last week.
Yes.
What was it, last week or the week before?
It was last week, right?
No, the week before.
It was?
The weekend, last weekend.
How
for
was that?
President's Club. It was really, really good. The resort we went to was called Unico in Riviera Maya.
Okay.
And
that's not far from Tulum.
No, it's about an hour away, 30, 45 minutes, which is funny because everywhere there, because Yoster came with me, I was able to actually bring him. Yoster would be like, oh, it's only 30 minutes. Oh, it's only 30 minutes. And then when we looked, the damn place is like 3 hours away. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because he was like, oh, we should go see one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's here in Mexico. It's right there, by Tulum. And I look, and I'm like, what is it called? Is it this? And he's like, yeah. And I look on Google Maps, and it's 3 hours and 35 minutes away.
Like, what map are you looking at?
Yeah.
Where's your location pinned at?
But no, it was really, really good. So every year, the company, if you're a top producer, you hit a certain goal, you get invited the next year to go out to their, I was going to say reserve. Yeah, their retreat. And they basically, they pay for your hotel room, your flight and everything. And I was able to bring Yoster this year.
That's nice.
And Saturday we rented a car. We went to Playa del Carmen. We ate so much.
Of course.
All-inclusive. No, we left the all-inclusive.
And you ate more?
To Playa del Carmen. Yeah, yes. So we woke up that morning. Well, Friday we had the business meeting, which I'll tell you about. But Saturday we woke up. We had a concierge through WhatsApp, and we messaged him, hey, can you get us a car? And he literally got us a car in like 20 minutes. He's like, it's $120, $800 deposit, whatever, you get your money back after. We're like, great. The car was there in 20 minutes. We had already eaten breakfast because we got room service, which, by the way, our room had a swim-up pool.
Lovely.
So if you walk out of your back room, you literally walk into the water.
Love it.
My branch manager, Leo, which is the other person from Florida that came with us, was the room right next door to us. So it was perfect to be able to chill in the pool.
In the pool together.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that.
So we had a great time on that swim-up pool. But we rented a car on Saturday. We took it to Playa del Carmen. As soon as we parked, we see this guy outside in a taco stand, like with the pork on the wheel.
Yeah, shaving it off.
So we ordered 2 tacos each. We ate that, and we're like, okay, let's start walking because we're in the touristy area. We walked for about 30, 45 minutes, like buying souvenirs and stuff. I bought a bunch of stuff. And then we find this place. And the reason why we went to it was because the bar had swings as seats.
Okay, so what was the location? What was it called?
I forgot.
Okay.
I have no idea. But I was like, oh, that's cool. And then we go to the bar, and the guy's like, hey, do you want to go into the AC? And I'm like, that sounds like a better idea. So we didn't even use the bar. We went to the AC. We ate, had 4 tacos. We had, I'm not kidding.
While in Mexico, eat tacos.
After eating all of these tacos,
Y'all
we
went
went
for fresh fish.
and we had fish, and we asked the guy, my manager asked, can you bring it out before you cook it? Because I want to see how big it is.
Yeah.
It was 8 pounds.
Ooh.
It was literally like
So
this
you guys
big.
shared it. So that was for everyone.
Us 4, yes.
Nice.
A lot of fish. We ate one half of it, flipped it over, and laid half of that other side.
Damn.
It was a lot of.
What was it? Like a grouper or something? What was
I
it?
don't know what it was, but it was good. That was already like 5:36. We have to head out of there because we have reservations at 8:30
It's for dinner.
for dinner. When I tell you we ate
Mike
a
went
lot,
to Mexico just to eat, guys.
a lot. But it was a great time. Friday we had our business meeting, which I was on a panel of top producers talking about how I'm still improving my business this year compared to last year, especially with how low originations are and stuff. So it was a great experience. I'm grateful that I was on the panel. It's kind of weird because I'm like 30 and these people are like 45, 50, and they're like telling me I'm going to set up a call with you to talk about how you're doing your business, and I want to kind of mimic you and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That means that you're doing something right. Especially like where we are in society and how we're doing things. Instagram, not even Instagram, but just social media technology is really running the world right now. And so, of course, they want to talk to you because that's not how they got into the business.
Correct.
So you using these innovative tools and social media and all this stuff to really promote your business and gain more, clientele and stuff. They want that because I'm pretty sure they're doing things the old way.
Yeah, which is what most of them were doing in there. I think I was like kind of like the social media guy, and I'm like, and I told them, I'm like, I'm not like, my following is nowhere where it actually could be, and I honestly am okay with that because I'm super hyper focused on my local market, which actually we're gonna pretty much talk about today, content creation, how it's helped our business, your business, my business. So, guys, my name is Mike. I'm with Highlands Residential Mortgage, NMLS 1857587.
Hey guys, it's your girl Nicolette. I am a local luxury South Florida realtor here, and I'm set up.
This is Millennial Money Matters.
This is Millennial Money Matters.
And actually today it's kind of a good segue. We're going to be talking about content creation,
Yes.
and branding and strategy, and really branding your business. And not even, we're going to talk about it on the real estate level, but this is something that's really going to translate over to any business that you have. Building your brand is going to be very, very important.
Absolutely.
So I kind of actually, because you are probably much better at social media than I am, and there's not a lot of old heads in this room.
There's none.
So we want to talk about, who are you? Who is Nicolette White?
Okay, so Nicolette White is a realtor, which is the one thing that most people will see first when they come on my social media platform. I'm a mom, so I have a 4-year-old. I'm a daughter, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and yeah, right? That's me.
That's you. That's you.
That's me.
So, how did you get into real estate? How did you stumble across this career?
So majority of my life, my working life, I've always worked in retail. So I was always selling something. And I did a lot of luxury retail. So I worked at Rolex, so I sold watches.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, my background is extensive. I worked at Saks, Nordstrom, Zara. So I was always around this luxury market, and I was always selling things. But I never really felt connected to the things that I was selling outside of it being a nice item, And so I had a time period where I would just binge House Hunters, Property Brothers, anything about interior design, anything about home. I would always binge this. And I was like, I can do this. I would get that all the time too. People would meet me and say, oh my God, you have such a great personality. You should be this, you should do that. And so I thought about it, and it was 2018, I took the exam and I passed. Actually, when I was living in New York, I was going to school. I was taking the real estate exam, the class there, but a whole lot of stuff happened and I stopped because I really wanted to be a realtor in New York because I was living there at the time.
But you're not from there.
I am from there.
You are?
Yes.
See, I didn't know this.
Yes. But pretty much Florida raised me. And so I went back to New York after I graduated college because I was like, okay, I think this is where I want to live my life. So I was going to grad school there, and I'm like, you know what? I want to do real estate. I've been hearing that this is a field that I should take and, be a part of. Let me go ahead and see what it's about. Never finished the course there. Came back to Florida, did a couple more years of retail, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready for something different. So I took my exam, I passed it in 2018. Then I got pregnant with my son. So I was like, okay, all right, had cash, and realized that I cannot go back to this job because how much they were charging me for, what is that, daycare was literally my whole paycheck at the time. And I'm like, I can't afford this.
How much was it?
It was like $1,000 for
month?
the week.
For what?
Yeah, because he was an infant. So yeah. Yes, your mouth dropped.
Oh my
It was like
God.
$1,000 for the week. Because I was working up in Boca, and so he was probably like not even 6 months, because they give you what, like 3 months leave of absence, maternity leave or whatever, and he was like 3 or 4 months old, and so he's a baby. They charge you more, and I would have to have it up in Boca, and so I was like, when I calculated, I said, oh my God, this is my whole check. Like, I'm literally going to be paying you guys to watch my kid. And I was like, I can't do that. So I literally went to work for one day and I quit the next day. I was like, Mom, I moved back home with my mom. I was like, Mom, I can't go back there. And she was like, what you gonna do? I said, well, I got this real estate license and I'm gonna push it. And so that was in October. And literally that's when I joined Elite. Tanisha was my first broker. And I say this all the time, she gave me the blueprint. She gave me the foundation that I needed. She told me, she was like, you need to start posting on social media. I wasn't even on social media before real estate. I was that one person with the account with no profile picture. Maybe I had a profile picture, but I had nothing on my page. I had a couple followers because, of course, your friends see you like, oh, let me follow you. But I was not posting nothing. My first post was, I think, my real estate post telling people like, hey, I'm a realtor. Had a kid, pop back out. I'm ready to do this. And that's how it kind of took off from there.
Just start doing things that other realtors weren't doing. But yeah, enough about me. How about you?
So
Who's Mike Molina?
I am father first.
Yes.
100%. Like that.
To some
I
beautiful
always say it. I'm like, great
babies.
son, it better say, best dad, because that's really what I really care about. I'm a father of 2. I have a boy, Ian, 6 years old. Maya, she just turned 2 September 20th, a couple of weeks ago. She is my princess. But besides my 2 kids, I'm also a serial entrepreneur. I'm very creative. I'm very analytical when it comes to how I approach things in any aspect. Basically, my career started selling light bulbs.
Really?
I worked, for I started off with my uncle when I was in high school, and I ended up basically running his online business before Amazon was a really big thing. He would sell light bulbs online. He had a website. He had his recurring customers. And so basically we had an e-commerce site before e-commerce was cool. And then I got to the point where I was running his business consistently. I felt like I needed to get paid more, especially for the amount of knowledge that I had when it came to light bulbs in general. And so I started I asked him for a pay raise. He told me no. And so I left. I actually connected with one of the distributors that we worked with, did an interview with them. They knew that I knew my stuff. They pretty much offered me the job. It gave me exactly what I wanted, which at the time was amazing. I think I was 20 years old or something like that. I was getting paid like $20 an hour. So I was moving up pretty quickly. And then, I found out Ian was going to be born. It was right around the time that I did my annual review for the year. I sat down with them and they said, hey, you've been doing a fantastic job. Great. We're going to bump you up $1,000 a year. And I was excited. I was like, cool. Right. All right, bet. And I started to do the math. I'm very analytical.
And he was like,
and I'm like, my goal is, and it was something so simple, $60,000 a year, $70,000 a year. I want, to be able to take care of my son, because I didn't have that when I was growing up. It's going to take me 20-something years to get there. At this rate.
Right, because only $1,000 a year.
And I found out Ian was going to be born, and the one thing that I promised myself was that my kids were going to have way more than what I ever had. Because of him, I had already taken my real estate license course or whatever, because I wanted to do it part-time. I just felt that at the time I was a little bit too young for people to take me serious. And that was just that insecurity that I had at that time. And as soon as I left, my uncle, the one I used to work with in the business, growing his business, hit me up. He's like, hey, me and your other uncle from New York are looking at doing a restaurant, and we want you to run the day-to-day. So I'm like, perfect. My uncles, I trust you guys. He's like, okay, well, you're going to need to come in with about $10,000. Guess how much I had saved?
That.
$10,000.
You didn't do it.
No, I did. I started to focus on real estate. The loan officer I was using at the time was Angela. He was like, hey, man, you're really good. You're very analytical. You understand the numbers a lot more than realtors do. Why don't you come by the office and see if you like it? Mm-hmm. And so I came, I met the branch manager, and which is Leo, he's still my branch manager now. We had a good conversation. At the time, I was still focused on trying to catch up on bills. It was, 5-6 months after the restaurant, trying to catch up on bills, making sure that I can continue to close, because I was being consistent. I think I was doing one deal a month,
That's
buy,
good.
sell, buy, sell. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I was focused on. But I took the meeting. I've learned to never say no. Mm-hmm. Well, I had that meeting, whatever. I decided to continue to focus on my stuff. A couple weeks later, he calls me and says, hey, my regional manager is going to be in the office. Mm-hmm. I want you to meet him, come by. Mm-hmm. And I remember laying in bed that day, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right,
like,
right.
I don't want to be alone. I just got over this. Like,
It's
if
something
I tell my girl that we're now switching over after everything we just been through, she'll probably dump my ass.
Over it. I probably would have. I was like, Mike, come back when you get it together.
Yeah, so I took the meeting or whatever, and I was in the office, and he was interviewing me, and it was really like he was interviewing me for the job. I remember he would tell me, so what do you think that you would be able to do as a loan officer? How would you get business? And he was just kind of drilling me, and he's like, what's the difference between what you and the thousands of other loan officers I've interviewed is? And I'm like, what? He's like, nothing. He's like,
Okay.
some people talk and some people do it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you have it in you.
Oh, wow.
Just like that. And so because this MFer told me
Of course. Now
that
we got
I
it.
couldn't do
I'm
it.
telling you, that's an agreement.
Yeah,
Tell
that
me
I
I can't
couldn't
do
do it. He was the reason why I really jumped to get into mortgages, and it's a funny story because it really is true. But I'm thankful that did happen, because I'm in a space where I am probably in the best career choice I probably could have ever picked. Mm-hmm. I love it. I wake up every single day excited. Mm-hmm. I come into the office
and you
all
do
the
a
time to
damn
work.
good job at what you do.
Like we take a lot of pride in what we do. Mm-hmm. We really enjoy what we do. Mortgages is really what I'm good at. I was actually talking to the guys today, and I'm the one explaining to them how mortgage-backed securities work, how pricing works, all this stuff works, because I really understand this at a level that is
seriously.
I really enjoy. So that's me in a nutshell. I mean, that's pretty much how I got into real estate, who I am. Mm-hmm. It really started, mortgages really started because somebody told me I couldn't do it, which was really a lot of even when I got my real estate license, I didn't say it, but the person told me that I wouldn't pass the test on my first try. And so
did.
That's why I did it, yeah.
Same.
So,
it's crazy because even evolving as a realtor, I had someone tell me oh, you'll never go off to sell luxury, or you'll never go off to sell, that much deals. You won't do it, without me, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, watch this. Mm-hmm. What Usher did? Watch this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love how we can use those other people as motivation, because that's sometimes what we need. Mm-hmm. Okay, watch me turn up.
Yeah. Let's actually get into what the topic is about.
Yes.
Building your business with branding and content marketing. So when did you realize that branding and content marketing was important?
Literally, once my broker at the time told me this is something that I need to push my business. It was either that or cold calling. Mm-hmm. And I'm not cold calling, and I'm definitely not door knocking. Mm-hmm. I get it. I know that that's very effective for a lot of realtors, but me, I'm just not that realtor. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I need to figure this social media thing out. I need to figure out how I can be authentic in the space as well as have fun with it. And so literally I reached out to my brand strategist, who is Jabria Blackman. And I was like, how can we do this? Mm-hmm. I don't want to look like any other realtor. I don't want to even brand a brokerage. I want to brand myself, because in the event that I ever leave this brokerage, I don't want my following, or I don't want my clientele to fall in love with the broker or the brokerage. I want them to follow me anywhere I go. Mm-hmm. And so I realized that that's the most important thing. And so we got together, we figured out, a plan on, how to make your content dynamic. And I started to realize new construction it was a thing, it was popping, but not a lot of realtors were actually doing these home tours or giving information. You saw a lot of carousels, you saw a lot of photos. This was even before Reels became a thing. So you had videos, I think they were 30-second videos. Mm-hmm. And so I started doing that. I know my first video was a behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. I think I was one of the first people to, granted, probably not, but in the South Florida, area as far as realtors to do like a BTS video of like a photo shoot. And so that's really how I saw the response. I saw the response I was getting from my broker. I saw the response that I was getting from other realtors. And I was like, okay, got it. And then one of my motivations was, of course, Kiana Watson. I'm not sure if you're familiar with who she is. I just saw how she was doing real estate and just was giving us everything. She was able to just merge lifestyle with real estate, and I love that. I noticed that a lot of realtors had 2 pages, and I already got so much going on. I was like, I cannot have 2 pages. I can't have a real estate page and my personal page. So I was like, y'all can get everything. And she was the first person I saw that had everything on her page, and I was like, I love this. It's genius. And it works so much for me because a lot of my clients that come from social media, they say they feel like they get to know me and they want to work with me because of that. And so
that
I was
is
like,
probably the number one or the first tip that we can give somebody that's starting
Absolutely.
off. Do not make a separate page
Please
for your
don't.
content.
please don't.
It does not work. You will not get all the followers to transfer over to your business page
No.
because they're going to feel like it's just a business. You need to put your private stuff private, make yourself a close friends.
Yep.
If you really want to show out in the club at 12 or 1 in the morning, that's
Right.
cool. But your personal page should be mixed with your brand.
Yes.
Because people are already there and they're really going to be able to get you on a personal level and on a business
On a
level.
business level. Absolutely. And one thing one of my old brokers said was how you live in your personal life, it transitions into how you live in your business, how you work your business. And it's true. People can kind of see it. Do you take care of yourself on a personal level? More than likely, you're going to take care of your business too, you know? And I would say this, unless you are a broker or you are starting a brokerage, then you want to have a separate page. But if you're just a realtor, you know, I don't think that you need a whole separate page because you're just doing business as this person. But if you actually have a complete different business, you know, where you have other realtors that you're going to be doing business for you, yes, have a whole different page, whatever. But when I see the 2 pages, I'm like, you're just making life a little bit more difficult for you, you know? And then how do people, because that professional page is boring. When you look at it, it's just flyers or, you know, it's a little boring, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
What about yourself? Like as a loan officer, how do you utilize social media? Like how has it worked for you?
So actually funny that you mentioned Kiana Watson because before I knew MG, so when I started being a loan officer, I did one of the first investments I made. I'm probably one of the biggest people that is an advocate for marketing. You don't, because that ROI, you can't really quantify it, what kind of real ROI you get from it, but it is very, very grand when it comes to the grand scheme of things. And it just takes a little bit more time when you're looking at marketing specifically and branding and content strategy. So the first thing that I did, even when I was doing no deals, was I invested $500 a month for a social media manager at the time.
Oh.
And she would post every single day on my behalf. She would give me ideas on stuff to post. And so, you know, on videos to make and things to say. So that's really how I kind of came out on social media. If you scroll down far enough, you'll see the actual like strategized flyers that were made and videos and stuff like that. So I think it's very important, you know, as an entrepreneur in general, whether you're a loan officer or you're a realtor, to do it. But before I met MG, that was a conversation I would have with her. Is like, I want to make mortgages fun because to me it's fun. But if I to talk to somebody about an FHA loan, 3.5% down, it's boring. So how can I gear and how can I make it fun? And that was just something that I couldn't find at the time.
Yeah.
That I couldn't do well with. But it actually, you can see it kind of work when you see MG, What a Mortgage on Instagram and stuff like that. And that was kind of my idea. Years ago, I just could never get it into fruition because I just overanalyze a lot of things. And so...
Oh my gosh. You sound like me, like literally like in our head with things, because it's the same with my social media as well. Like sometimes I get so caught up in my head where I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to do this, or I can't do this, or I overthink it. And so what is it? What the analysis paralysis, where you're analyzing it so much to the point where you do nothing. And so again, because of my brand strategist, she was like, let's do it. Let's just execute it. Let's just put it out there, you know, just put the content out there. But you're doing great Because you have the Mortgage Minute.
Yeah, so I have the Monday Mortgage Minute now. I actually started off with video marketing direct to realtors using this platform called BombBomb. I think it's like $40 a month now, $45 a month. It used to be like $20, $25 when I first started. But it's video marketing specifically, in which I tell realtors to use this all the time. The same way that I market to realtors on it by educating them is the same way that realtors can market to their clients by educating them, whatever that is. I think the people that get paid the most in terms of entrepreneurs are the people that are educating.
Absolutely.
Which is sad to say, because teachers don't get paid that well. But I think that people that teach within their industry are usually the ones that are the highest earners because they're giving away that free education and it comes back to them tenfold.
Absolutely.
And
you're seen as the expert.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of what I do. I don't really ask for business. I do the Monday Mortgage Minutes where, we have realtors kind of come in on Zoom and we talk about the market for that week, what it looks like. We'll talk about new programs, where we think the market's headed and stuff like that. We do a lot of, video marketing through BombBomb as well to different brokerages and different realtors. And of course, a lot of just social media posting in general, reposting other people's things. So if you're just starting off as a loan officer or as a realtor, you don't have a lot of if you don't have a lot of clients or especially as a loan officer, because you're more B2B, realtors that you deal with, the realtors that you want to deal with, the biggest or the best thing that you can kind of do is just repost their stuff. Even if you're not tagged, if they have an open house, just share it to your story. You can tag them, hide the tag so that nobody sees it. And what they're going to do is, because they're so thankful for you, because most likely that realtor is not good at social media, is that they're going to repost your stuff.
Absolutely. Because I feel like that's what happened with us. Just build that relationship, especially if you're a realtor or again, loan officer. We're in the business of relationship building. The relationship is what gets us the sale. How well can you actually build this relationship with your client, your team, and I feel like people neglect to do that sometimes. Even other realtors, you don't always have to sell to your audience either. It's okay to show them that you have a family. It's okay to show them that you enjoy doing this or you have a hobby, because you never know where your clientele is going to come from. They might, navigate to you because they see that you're a dog lover, and they might also be dog lovers. Or I have a lot of my clients, they're like, girl, I like your lifestyle. I like the way you dress. I like that you go out, you do these things. And I've also been that person that I had clients call me, hey girl, where should I go out to eat? Because you're always going out to eat and doing this thing. And it brings me great joy, that they're reaching back out to me to get this information. So you never know why somebody might want to do business with you or connect with you. And so sometimes you want to show parts of you.
I think the biggest thing is kind of being the resource for a lot of people. Yeah. Which is why I always tell people you don't want to ask for business. You want to kind of show why you are the value to someone, whatever that is, And there's one thing that person that forced me to become a loan officer told me or taught me over time is that, business is just a transfer of trust. That's all it is, right? Any business transaction is because you trust that company, person, or entity or whatever it is. You have enough trust to be able to spend money with that specific
that's so true.
person. So I think that's very important, is thinking about how you can continue to build trust. And I think branding and marketing is such a way to be able to do it in a wide net, because cold calls, which I actually used to do a lot of cold calls as a realtor, but cold calls are so hyper-focused and one by one, that if you don't find a way to be able to grab, even if you do cold calls and you do 40 a day, if you don't grab those 40 a day and put them somewhere so that you can mass market them, right, which is branding and content marketing, you won't be able to do much, right? You won't. That follow-up will come to a point where you can't follow up with 500 people all at once, right? So you need to be able to have that marketing funnel. I always talk about marketing funnel, and kind of what I do with my business and the realtors that I meet, how I kind of put them into my marketing funnel, whether that be inviting them onto Monday Mortgage Minute, sending them videos on BombBomb, emails, whatever that is. They will continue to see my face as soon as I meet them, because you're giving me your business card. You don't realize that all you're doing is just giving me your email so that I can continue to blast you on different things. And I'm not going to be asking you for business, but I'm going to be telling you, hey, this is how the market's doing. And so when you see on the news rates are extremely high, you're like, Mike just talked about this guy. Let me click the video. But with BombBomb specifically, when you get that notification when somebody views your video. So at that point, if I know you viewed my video, and it was
You
late
can
at
market
night, next morning I'm going to see that email notification. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pretend like I didn't know that you saw my video.
Right.
Hey, my name's Mike. I'm with Highlands Residential Mortgage. Just want to introduce myself. How are you? And the realtor's like, whoa, I just saw this guy's video.
Right. And here he goes calling me again. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
so-
secret's out.
So, but these are kind of the things that you do to build your brand and your marketing. And then, of course, I think what's really important, kind of wrap up this conversation, is what you do once you bring that client in.
Absolutely.
Whether that be a realtor, whether that be a client in general, right? Because you can get that business through content and branding, but what's your back end like?
Absolutely. Woof. Yes. Whew. That's a story for another day because that I struggled with. I did everything on the front end. And then when I think about my CRM, I was like, ooh, I got busy and I wasn't tending to it the way I should. And so I think I mentioned this in another one of our episodes where now I'm like going back and trying to play catch up. So you got to have a tight back end, you know, it has to be. And, you know, me and Jabril, we were talking about that very thing on my marketing funnel. You know, I don't just post aimlessly or try to just do random posts here and there. Like we really do have to fine tune this thing, especially when you want to grow your business. So I agree, you know, the realtor that's really in it to win it, that can engage on a wide level with clients and customers and people that are looking to purchase and sell their homes is the one that's going to win.
So what advice would you give someone who wants to start in any business as it pertains to branding and content creation?
Be authentic. I think that's the number one thing, especially if in regards to branding that you are going to be the face. You want to be authentic. People will fall in love. You'll find your tribe. And I think that's the one thing that I focused on the most. Like I mentioned, I was inspired by Kiana, but I had to be me. You know, I have a quirky personality. You get to know me, you know, I want that. I want whomever my clients meet online, they can say it's the same person in person. And so I think that's very important. You want to be authentic. You want to be consistent, and you want to get clear on your message, right? Like, what are you really offering? Because you don't want to be the realtor that is doing everything, because then sometimes some people get confused. And I think that if you are going to do multiple things outside of stuff that pertain to your lifestyle, yes, start to break up the pages and sometimes intertwine those things, but you want to really get clear on who's your target audience, because some people don't understand that. Working with Jabril, I had to realize, I'm like, okay, who's my target audience? What pain do they have?
Listen,
like, what are you
this
trying to...
This is our third recording, and Jabril's like, no, we got to do this. And I'm like, Jabril, I thought it was a good conversation.
Because then you have to really realize who is going to be the person that's going to click this and watch this. Because we can do an episode, we could talk all day long. But again, we want to have people watching. And if we're not in front of our target audience, if we're not having conversations or topics that pertain to these people, they're not going to click. And it's the same thing with your marketing. It's the same thing with your branding. You know, you don't want to be that realtor that you say you're luxury, but you don't post any of that. Are you really luxury? I don't know. You know, you don't want to say that you're an investor realtor and you're not working with that, or
you're not showing,
you're not
showing beat up houses, and
you just kind of you got to get clear on, because there are some people that have a niche, like they strictly do work with investors. They are strictly listing agents for real, and that's their market, and that's who their content is for. There's realtors that they focus on first-time home buyers. They have all the programs for them. And guess what? That's the clientele that they're getting, and you can make a lot of money. You don't just have to work in luxury, you know, to make a lot of money, but you have to get clear on that message, because also you want to make sure that your client feels comfortable working with you.
Yeah,
a luxury client is not going to feel comfortable if you ain't never sell luxury. You don't even post it. That's why you're not getting the luxury clients, because it's a disconnect. You know, so
and it's not as simple as getting that luxury client, because you have to understand what those higher grade marble countertops look like, or what the flooring is, and being able to explain that to the client is a different level.
It's a different level. It's a different ball game. That everyone wants to be a part of it, but being in it, it's a whole. You sweat different. Like it ain't
they
no
will
joke.
higher end clients drop you very quickly,
Of
without
course.
without even warning.
Because their Rolodex, their connects run long. You know what I'm saying? They give you a chance, and if you don't measure up to it, next. And the worst thing is your reputation goes right along with that next, you know? And so it's something that you have to work your way up to and really be in it. Like I said, when I started this off with, I've always worked in luxury. So I feel comfortable in that space. I've been in the realm for so long. You know, I don't just want to do it because it's higher price point and it's flashy and stuff. Nah,
Yeah,
it's
you
my
already
world.
have that background, you know, by working at those higher end stores and stuff like that. So you already know how to connect with them. I agree. I think that would probably be the best advice that I can give somebody as well. Is just be authentic, because I'm completely different than a lot of other
Absolutely.
loan officers in terms of how they connect with people. And I don't want to say sell, but how they connect with people. Like Yoster, he's like a brother to me, and he is the opposite
Yes.
of me.
And I love you guys both.
He can get on the phone with anybody and talk
Yes.
to them for 30, 45 minutes like
Yes.
he's known them for years.
Yes.
And that's his personality, and
Yes.
he's really good at it. And I'm the opposite. I'm kind of like very more so straightforward, and that's not because I don't care, because I do. I give a ton of shit. I do. But I'm just
You give a ton
just
of
the
shit?
way that I can't do small talk. I think. And so it's just more so being authentic, because there is a tribe for everybody, right?
Yes.
People know Mike is going to be the one that gets the deal done.
Yes.
If you want somebody that's going to be fuzzy, you know, Yoster's part of the team to be able to give them that comfort. And Mike is going to make sure that loan is structured in a way that the underwriters are going to clear it, that
Tied
there's
up
no
with a bow.
issues. Exactly. And so we work really, really well, but there's different ways as to how we do business, but we both care just the same, right? And so I think it's very important. Be yourself. There is 100% a tribe for everybody. And you know that I was listening to one of the podcasts I listen to a lot, Brilliant Idiots, and I think Charlemagne would said something similar. Is that like everybody or anybody can have an audience, because they were talking about this the interviewer, and I don't want to say
Who?
I don't want to describe her, because I'm not going to describe her correctly for the podcast.
No.
But it's the lady that did the woman that did the interview with Drake on the bed.
Oh, yes. Okay, so damn, details matter.
That's why I was like, I don't want to say.
Details matter. Yes. She did an interview with somebody else too. She did it with I saw the one with Offset.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the new one with Offset. So there's a tribe for her.
Yes.
To me, that is super weird, uncomfortable, corny. But there's people that like her, and there's
Yes.
people that kind of flow with her. And so if that doesn't teach you anything except for just be yourself and, you know, be comfortable in who you are, because there are people there's going to be an audience for you no matter
Yes.
what. Being fake can only go so far. And when you are fake, you will fall off, whether that's in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You just
Absolutely.
can't keep up that persona. Be yourself. If you're a dick, you're going to attract people that are dickheads. And you're going to be fine with it, and you'll probably still be able to be successful.
Absolutely.
If you're nice, if you're analytical, if you're, a driver and what's the I? DISC. D-I-S-E. Stability, C and I, whatever. If you are anywhere along the DISC test, basically is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
You will attract the same people that are like you. It just happens. And so just to kind of wrap up, you know, this episode, I'm glad you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I feel very, very good about this one.
Yes.
And you can cut that out too, Jabri.
You want to say it on the record.
Yeah, I just want to say it on the record. But thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
We will see you next week.
Yes.
My name is Mike, Hines Residential Mortgage, team lead for Mike Molina team, NMLS 1857587.
And I am Nicolette White, your luxury realtor here in the South Florida area.
And
This is Millennial Money Matters.
Thank you. Boom!